Bungie's actually kind of surprising me with the next time around in Eververse. So, per the usual, the next week of the season is the best thing, just because there is always just more Eververse items to go for that might be from last season, and in this case, actually was. So, if you actually look at the front page for the Brightest store, we have a, from Season of Plunder, Cursed Azure, which is a pretty solid look for weapons and armor alike. While it isn't exactly anything mind-blowing, I do think it's a good look. Then we also have Erebos Glance, which was that knockoff Super Black, where basically there was a lot of black, but there was a little bit of orange, so a lot of people said, well, it was a Super Black, it wasn't all the way black. And then we also have Pyramid Entrance, which is from Season of the Lost, which is basically a looming pyramid spooky. Then we also have an ornament for Arbalest, the Violent Exorcism, which I think is like a Scorpion slash Scorn look, but it's one of those ones where it's a bulkier view model than base, so personally, I would just stick with the railgun version of that. They also have the Gong Show from Season of the Plunder, which is basically that big one where you just kind of grab a... I forget what they're called, but whatever the hammer is that you hit gongs with that make them go rang. But then, in terms of the main store for our flares, we have Warbrick from Season of the Drifter, which is pretty much one of those I want to look like I am angry, but also add some red to it. Then we also have Atmospheric Glow from Season of Opulence, which is basically a dark green with some bright greens on occasion. And then we also have Oiled Gunmetal, which is from Season of the Undying, which is pretty much a, I want to look like I am dark, but also have some random colors whenever I look at something with light. And as well, Butterbark from Season of Rivals, which is one of those ones where it turns you a different texture entirely, because this one makes you look like wood, hence the bark. Then, for our Transmatch, we have Capsule Gang Entrance, which is the blue Dido capsule entrance turned pink. Cannon Fodder from Season of Plunder, which is one of those ones where you get shot out of a cannon. And then we also have the Vex Incursion Entrance, which is basically the redo of the basic thing where it looks like that, but blue. And to our big ticket items, we also have the Stargazer legendary emote from last season, which is pretty much just a looking through the telescope, looking at things in the sky, with my Pyroclasm firebolts staying in place and moving. But that's pretty much the extent of that. And we also have the Scene Clapper, which is basically the... and cut, or sort of thing. But then we also have Astrological, or Astrologic, from Season of the Risen. This is part of the Awoken set that kind of came out for that season. So, if you want to look like your Starry Awoken style, there you go. And from Season of the Hunted, this is Wings of the Firebird, which was one of the coolest looking ships that came out in recent years. Not only just because it's on fire, but also just because of its general look. And if I remember, this actually shadered pretty mean. Although, sadly, it didn't change the color of the flames, which, Bungie, seriously, anytime you make glows that don't change color with the shader, that's probably one of the things that everyone hates most about this game, is when flames or glows don't change color with shaders, because then they just look out of place. And you also have the Overpacked Sparrow, which I guess is a... well, judging from the look, it's a House Light Sparrow, but it also doesn't look that overpacked, so it's hard to judge. And then also a new one, the Mara Multi-Tool, which is an Awoken Dreaming City-styled Might Multi-Tool ornament, which this was kind of a part of a bundle that was only available for two things. I know last week they added the Ego Malign, which was the shader that went with this bundle, but they released the bundle, and they also released the shader, and so I think whenever a bundle happens, it's like a buy only. In this case, for this season, currently, at least, it is the, let's see, this one, the Volatile Throne bundle, which is basically a new live shader and a new Le Monarch ornament. I think these two will probably be available in the future, just in case I didn't want to buy them for silver. But, you know, hopefully that waters its way out soon. But then, of course, lastly, as always, a ghost projection in the form of a Callous Chalice, and that is everything. That is everything available for Bright Dust for week 2 of the season. Now, of course, like I always say, if you want anything that was there, get it while you can. If it disappears from the Bright Dust store, there's a chance it won't appear at least this season again, at least for a long while, in terms of like the ornaments and emotes. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go and get them for silver, and no one wants to spend real money on something they could have gotten for free. On that note, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.